back for another video. My name is Josh Kasich, and today I'm going to be breaking down my predictions for the future relationships in Boruto. Obviously, if we won't probably know until the end of Boruto, and we also don't know how long Boruto is going to go for, considering that Naruto, with 720 episodes, 220 in just Naruto, and 500 in Naruto Shippuden, plus the movies. So, that took several years. And so, Boruto, I might even miss some episodes because I'll be in college and really don't have time to be watching that. But there's going to be that, and so it's going to be interesting to see how these are going to play out. And now, based on what I've seen right now, this is kind of just early predictions. Things could change over time, because obviously, unlike Naruto, as we knew, Hinata was kind of really like Naruto, or more like, it's probably she was kind of in love with Naruto. I think it was definitely beyond like, for sure, and they ended up together, and which is definitely was awesome. It was great, and I think that was definitely the best decision. However, I do kind of wish that the relationships were more developed. Maybe also show more scenes of them dating. And another thing, their husband-wife. Naruto comes home, right, in some cases, and they don't kiss. They just hug. That's kind of weird. Like, your husband and wife, right? I know my parents, when they come home, they kiss each other, right? It's parents, like, they're a couple, like, I don't understand why that's kind of weird. I understand that this is technically a kid's show. It's an anime, but it's more generated for a younger audience. But kissing is not that weird. I'll tell you right now, yeah, kids kind of at that age are a little grossed out by kissing, but they see their parents do it all the time. So, I don't see why that's a problem. It's just kissing. Like, it's just kissing, people. It's just kissing. It's not like they're not showing, what, which they'll never do. But, like, there's, like, besides, like, the kiss of Naruto and Hinata in the movie, there's rarely any kissing, more hugging. I was watching a video, basically of the manga, or something like that, where Hinata tells Naruto that she's pregnant. And in most cases, especially in movies that are for adults, well, not for adults, kids can watch it, but are more generally for an older audience. If a person announces to their if a woman pronounces to her husband that she's pregnant, they kiss, usually. So that's kind of weird but in the manga, they just hugged. They just kept hugging. Like, seriously? Like, no kiss whatsoever, that scene whatsoever? See, that's one of my problems. I do kind of my problem with the relationships. I feel like I wish they were more developed. I haven't seen the last part of Naruto yet, with all the kind of the more relationship sections that, from what I've heard, doesn't actually develop the relationships. Like, they develop, but not as much as I think much as they should have. But I don't want to go there until I've actually seen it for myself. So I'd be seeing it for myself, like I said, and so I don't want to go in depth my kind of problems as well as with that part until I know the full picture yet. But this is really the predictions for this is for Boruto. From what we know so far, I think like I said, for Boruto, there's no character right now that is in love with Boruto. So it's kind of a different route. It's kind of harder to say who Boruto's going to end up with because there is no actual character that loves Boruto like Hinata loves Naruto. Now there's definitely, I think, from what I've heard, I've seen most of all the Boruto for English. I don't know anything about the Japanese. I know they've gone further. But what I've seen in Boruto, I think there are definitely hits between Boruto and Sarada. And I think there's more so, I think, further on the Japanese ones. I don't know, that's from what I've heard. But, they kind of don't, even though there's hints of that, like, but there's no, they don't actually like each other. Like, in fact, they kind of, well, we're friends because they're family, but, like, they kind of annoy each other. So, which you could say that is a sign that, because the old married couples or whatever, they're fighting type thing. But, I definitely think Boruto will end up with Sarada. I think that's kind of the route they're going with. I think that's kind of the route I think they're going to go with, based on how it's going to happen. I think it makes sense, because, well, I think how they're going to do this, because in the beginning, Naruto liked Sakura. I don't think, I think that's obvious. But obviously Naruto ended up with Hinata, which I think is better. And so I think this time around, because Sarada has Sakura's blood, right, or half and then half, I think that they're going to do something different, because obviously, even though Boruto's kind of like his father, the writing is really similar to Naruto, which is kind of one of the complaints for Boruto. I think that basically they're going to change some things up. And I think that they're going to change it up for Boruto, that basically Boruto ends up with the Sakura of this timeline, if you understand what I mean. Even though basically Sakura's also Sasuke, which there's probably some fanfics of Naruto and Sasuke, which I don't want to go into, because the Naruto's first kiss, which is really, weird. Basically, Naruto was kind of having a stare-off against Sasuke, and someone bumped him, and, well, they kissed. So, there's some weird fanfics there, but, like I said, I think Boruto will kind of end up with this Sakura-esque character in this generation, which is Sarada. And then my dad believes that he might end up with the purple hair girl. I forgot, Sumar Meyer. I don't know. I forgot how it's pronounced. But it's the girl who was kind of a villain in one arc, but she's no longer a villain. And because she's kind of the shy character, which makes kind of weird to me, because she was only pretending to be shy. And now she's still kind of shy, which is kind of weird. I don't really get that. Because, was it an act? Was it not? I don't know now. But she's kind of a shy character, just like Hinata. And so, my dad believes, Boruto will end up with her. But, I don't think that's the case, because I think they're going to change it up. And so Boruto will end up with the Sakura of version of Sakura of this generation, and someone else will end up with the shy character. Okay, I don't know who will end up with her, with the purple. I'm just gonna call her the purple hair girl for now. Now, I did see kind of a video, or not, I didn't see a video, but I saw a thumbnail of her with Inojin, which could be interesting. Now, Inojin is the son of Ino and what's his name? I keep forgetting his name. The art guy, the kind of pale skin, forgot his name. Why am I blanking on his name? I always forget his name. The thing is, I haven't really seen much of Shippuden. If anything I've seen of Shippuden, I've seen the character. I just haven't seen him enough to know his name. So basically, I pretty much haven't seen anything of Shippuden, besides maybe a few. Well, okay. Now, I'm saying I haven't seen any Shippuden, as in I haven't seen what I'm talking about a few years ago. But now I've seen a lot of Shippuden. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, actually, probably minuscule. But now I've been watching with my dad now, and I've seen a lot. Basically, probably several episodes of Shippuden. A lot, but probably if there's 500 episodes, probably a near maybe 10%, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. But okay, now I've seen that. Okay, and I know that I've seen some episodes in the past, but that's pretty much my extent of Shippuden. I don't know a lot. I've seen all of Boruto, so I know some things now. I've seen my dad and me are almost done with watching all of the Naruto, just Naruto, because I own it on DVD. Well, I also own all of Shippuden now. So I'm going to have to see, eventually I'm going to watch that. But, so that's why I can't remember his name, but he's the guy I do know that basically he's one of those people where he was raised with this other person and then they had to fight to the death, and the other guy died, and the other guy knew that they would have to fight to the death, but he was dying of tuberculosis or something like that, I think it was. And so he was hoping to die before that happened. But he ended up dying kind of in the battle, I guess, because they refused to kill each other, right? So he knew he didn't want to kill the other guy because he knew he was dying. And so if he killed the art guy, he would have, and then he died, then it was basically pointless, right? So he died, and it looked like the other guy killed him because that's kind of how they played it out. And so now somehow he ended up with Naruto's Team 7. I really don't know how other than that little part, I don't know how he ended up with the team or anything like of that nature. So, but yeah, Ino ended up with him, and then they had Inojin. So it could be interesting to have him and her, Samir, and Inojin end up together. I mean, it's kind of interesting what they passed on, because obviously the girl has the animal thing, I forgot what it's called. And he has the art thing, and then he has the transfer. I forgot what it's called. The transfer jutsu, something. Ino's family speciality, and so, which he hasn't trained enough in it. Which I wish they do. I wish they developed that more, because he's mostly only taken the art stuff from his dad, but not much from his mother. I think he should definitely do that. But it's kind of interesting to see, because their child would have art, and then maybe control an animal. I don't know. Maybe if that passes down, it'd be interesting. So increasing these powers as the generation goes on. That would be it. Now I don't even know if there will be a Boruto next generation. It'd be interesting if they keep doing that to just keep the show alive. I would actually prefer that. I would actually be interested in that. A lot of people didn't like Boruto, but I actually like Boruto, and I think they should keep that going. I just hope they don't kill Naruto. If they kill Naruto, I would rage quit, and that'd be it. I won't ever watch Boruto or the next thing again, because every generational show that comes after the old, they always kill the main character in it or make fun of the character in some way, and it's so annoying. Naruto hasn't done it yet. So far Naruto is still cool and all that, but in so many other shows, they disrespected the original character. Beyblade, Shogun Steel, they disrespected Jinga from the first 3 seasons, and I'm gonna tell you how much I was upset because of that. I don't know, and I'm just saying that you can't disrespect the original character. It's what started it. It's what people like about the show. If you make fun of the character, if you kill them off, no one wants to care about the new show anymore. Those characters are probably the only reason why people are watching the next generation thing. Okay? And if you kill the main character or treat him like no one wants to see the show anymore. Not saying that we should only watch the show because of those of the old characters. I think I think a lot of people have a problem with that, where they just care about the old characters, and I think that's silly. But I think you should watch it for the new characters, but have a little bit of a sense to watch it because of the old characters. You watch it with the old characters, you get interest in the new characters, and you move on. But don't ruin the old characters. You do not ruin the old characters. You keep them cool. Yes, it's not about them, but you do not mess with them. That's how it should happen. Star Wars didn't understand that, and look at the hate they got. Disney only cared about the new characters, and look where they got them. You need people, when they watch a next generation of stuff, at first they watch it for the old characters. If you don't have enough of the old characters, they're not going to care. If you mistreat the new characters, they're not going to care. You have to have the old characters have a little bit of story. Yes, you have the new characters, and yes, they have to have a new story. It's about them. But in order for people to start liking the new characters, you have to make sure that you respect the old characters in this new generation. Once people feel like you're respecting these new characters and then people start liking the new characters, and then you have the story about the new characters. Go on and do not disrespect the old. That's my only problem. So I hope they don't do that. But it would be interesting to see what relationships will end up. And so we have Samir and Inojin, and it could be interesting. The next thing I did not expect would be I forgot her name. It's something that with Choji, because obviously they have to pass that like Cho thing, they have to pass that down. So I'm trying to figure out what basically I forgot some people call her Cho. I think I don't know. She in this thing I've seen, she ends up with Mitsuki, which is the clone of Uruchimaru. And that could be interesting, actually. That kind of weird. I would never expect that, but it could be interesting. Definitely wonder how that would work, but it'd definitely be interesting. Yeah, I mean, I can't, I think it's definitely a possibility. I really don't see, it's really hard, besides Boruto and Sarada, I really don't know exactly how it is, and I think that's kind of how it will end up. I mean, basically, Choji ended up with some random lady, and a woman who appeared in the anime. They didn't even develop that, so it's interesting to see if they do kind of the opposite with Chocho, where she actually ends up with a character in the main character. Or one of the main characters, or kind of the side main, where Boruto is the main character, and then you have a bunch of side mains, because they're okay. What I mean by side main is that basically you have all these characters. You have these characters that the show isn't, and that you have all these characters that aren't technically the main characters, but they're not exactly just side characters. They're too important to be side characters. And then there's side characters. That's kind of my idea of how it kind of works. And so it'd be interesting if she ends up with, one of the side main characters type things, right? So to change things up. And so that'd be kind of interesting to think, change up how these relationships end up. With Shikadai, the son of Shikamaru and Tamari, it's going to be interesting to see if they want to change up these relationships, to see if they ended up with different people. I would say that I think he has to marry someone in the village if they wanted to change things up. Because Tamari's not actually from the Leaf Village. She's from the Sand Village. And, they started having connections since the tuning exams, and they kind of slowly developed the relationship. I think out of all the relationships, Tamari and Shikamaru had the best development. I still think it could have been better, but throughout the anime, they definitely had a connection, and I think was one of the best. Probably out of all the relationships that happened from Naruto, definitely developed more. And so I think that if they wanted to change these relationships up, Shikadai will end up with someone in the village. I don't know who would that be. I'm not so sure, because there's a lot of female ninjas in the village, but I'm not sure exactly who they end up with. He could end up with some of the ninjas, but I feel like most of the, besides Sarada and Chocho, most of them are kind of, I guess, shy, or kind of not really openative. And maybe that can actually work with Shikadai, because Shikadai is just like his father, in many ways where they're not very, open. They don't want to be with people. They don't want to be doing anything. Their famous line is, "What a drag." Okay, I think that's the most expressive thing he says. What a drag. He's not very emotional person, so he could end up with a shy person of all those girls, or he kind of does the opposite, where like kind of Chocho and they kind of do a switcheroo where Chocho ends up with a side main, and then Shikadai could end up with some random girl, woman, or whatever. I'm just saying, I feel like what they're going to do for sure in Boruto is they're definitely going to change things up. For relationship-wise, I think that's what's going to happen. I could be wrong because this show is mostly a clone of Naruto, which is, like I said, a big complaint about the anime, and they could just do the same relationships. But I'm hoping the way it looks like they're going to change things up. And those are kind of my honest predictions of what will happen with these relationships for the Boruto series. However, I do hope that Sasuke and Sakura have more children, specifically a son, because let's just be honest, Sasuke is not increasing his clan by having just a daughter, okay? Because, maybe blood will continue, but the name, done, right there. All Uchiha's gone just like that. Because he's the last Uchiha, right? And he has a daughter. The daughter marries. The daughter takes the name of the person she marries. Boom, done. No more Uchihas, just in blood. The blood will continue, but, so hopefully the writers will eventually have it so that Sakura will give birth to a son. I know currently right now, Sasuke is currently staying in the village and being with Sakura and the family and kind of training Boruto, basically, which is really interesting. So you know how Naruto was trained by Jiraiya, right? I think Sasuke in this anime is going to be the Jiraiya character. Uh-oh. Does that mean they're going to kill him like Jiraiya? I hope not. Please don't kill Sasuke. They might kill Sasuke like they killed Jiraiya. Ooh, this is really hard. That is really, I think I just stumbled upon something really bad. Okay, let's not go further than that. Alright, so like I said, so it's interesting to see how these relationships happen. Those are my predictions, and I hope you enjoy this video. And if you did, please leave a like. If you're new, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified for my next upload. My YouTube channel website link is down in the description as always. And thank you. Goodbye. Also, keep forgetting, I did not make this video for children. I made this video for specifically people around my own age. I'm more general I make these videos for more general audience, but if I had to say an age, it would be around my age. Now, bye again.